Hey guys, Nick here with part 4 of our discussion on chromaticism. If you find these videos helpful, please subscribe and like the links in the description to keep up to date on all of my posts. In our first 3 videos, we discussed many ideas revolving around chromatic approaches to all diatonic notes. These mostly revolved around using the secondary dominant or substitute dominant. But now let's open up the possibilities of borrowing entire non-diatonic chords featuring more than one chromatic note in a chord progression. The idea of borrowing non-diatonic chords can be most easily understood by the concept of modal interchange. Modal interchange is the act of borrowing chords from parallel modes and scales of your key. So what does that mean? Well, let's say we were in C Ionian. The scale is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. The chords being C major, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, and B diminished. But what if we went with a C Dorian scale? C Dorian is the second mode of B flat major featuring 2 flats, B flat and E flat. Therefore, our chords would be C minor, D minor, E flat, F, G minor, A diminished, and B flat. Already we have 3 nice chord substitutes that we can use in the key of C major: E flat major, G minor, and B flat major. We would use these chords in the exact place of our main Ionian chords: E flat for E minor, G minor for G, and B flat for B diminished. We therefore have opened up the chords flat 3 major, E flat is the flat 3 in the key of C, 5 minor, G minor instead of G dominant 7, and flat 7 major, B flat is the flat 7 in the key of C. Of utmost importance is that we are using these appropriately against the melody. If your melody, for instance, is using a B, do not use an E flat substitute, as you'll be clashing with the B and the B flat in the E flat chord. But if your melody pedals a G, listen to the different color that an E flat chord can bring. Five minor is an interesting substitute. The chord is taking the place of what we once were referring to as the most important tension and release of tonality, the 5-to-1 progression. We have to be careful where we're using this chord, but personally I like to use it as a leading chord down to F, or 4 major. Primarily because it is the 2 chord of the 2-5-1 secondary dominant progression of 4. Now let's look at C Phrygian: C minor, D flat, E flat, F minor, G diminished, A flat, and B flat minor. This mode opens up an important substitute, the D flat major chord, sometimes voiced as a D flat major 7. This is our flat 2 major 7 chord and is used a lot in endings of songs. It's a wonderful texture that adds a lot of tension in your harmonies. Use it sparingly, but know that it works wonders. We also open up our 4 minor chord, F minor. This chord is used a lot in pop and R&B music, sometimes following a 4 major chord like so. It's also great as a pedal point on the tonic. C Lydian features the following: C major, D major, E minor, F sharp diminished, G, A minor, and B minor. This mode features 2 important substitutions, the first being 2 major. We hear this a lot in pop music, especially on the 1-2-4-1 progression. Our second feature is used a lot in the jazz and R&B realm, Sharp 4 diminished is a great chord to substitute for 1 major, as the only chromatic note is the sharp 4. Everything else is diatonic to the key. Listen to these different progressions and feel the usage of that sharp 4 chord. These are the most commonly used substitutes for our diatonic chords. There are some additional ones you can dig out of the Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian modes, but they become further and further displaced from our diatonic chords. The trick with modal interchange is to use these substitutes sparingly and as colors against the melody. They shouldn't be distracting from the musicality, nor should they be taking us out of the key that we've tonicized. They should be used as chords passing through to our diatonic chords, giving us moments of tension and release with our progression. I hope this video was helpful. As always, ask your questions or comment below and I'll be sure to get back to you. Thanks for watching and stay creative.